What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Punk Rock Radar. Today, we are talking about our top 5 Lagwagon songs. I'm joined by Dylan, aka Screeching Bottle Rocket from DyingScene.com. Dylan, happy Friday. Any plans for the weekend?
We got the Record Radar, which I've been slacking on lately, so that'll be up probably in the past when you're watching this. And then I guess it's not technically the weekend, but the Bucks are going to be 3-0 after they beat the fuck out of the Eagles on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, that's a good game. I didn't know they had the Eagles. I don't know about that. I have to look at the spread. I don't know if I like Bucks straight up. But let's get into this. This is going to be in no particular order. I'm going to go first. So my first favorite Lagwagon song is going to be from my favorite Lagwagon record, which is Blaze. And the song I'm going with is E Dagger. The song is about Fat Mike's ex-wife, Erin, who at the time was pretty well involved in Fat Wreck. And basically she's telling Mike he needs to quit the boozing and the partying. And there's lines in there that are, "Can we have just one night with all this, without all this self-destruction?" And then the other part is Joey saying, "No, we're going to keep partying." And I always like this song. I think it has some great guitars. It's got a great melody in the verses and the chorus. And there's a reason this is one of their signature tracks, but one of my favorites from my favorite Lagwagon album. So Dylan, E Dagger, any thoughts? Did it sniff your top 5?
Not even close. I don't really like this song.
Oh my
much,
God.
to be honest with you.
You're crazy.
We have a difference of opinion in this matter. I do think Blaze is a underrated record, though.
Come on, E, check out my funny hat. My name is Randall.
So my first song that I'm picking is going to be Razor Burn. Joey Cape has a very good knack for writing songs about just being like a degenerate, like, you know, just a loser. And this song is one of those songs. I especially like the Beard of Shame line. It's one of my favorite. But yeah, Haas is maybe my favorite Lagwagon album. So this is my favorite song off the record.
I noticed that you've got some deep cuts on yours, and I kind of went more like straightforward, like classic Lagwagon songs. But I mean, Razor Burn's awesome. I've got a song from Haas coming up, but not quite yet.
Dressed in black like Johnny Cash and through this beard of shame.
My second one is gonna be from the first Lagwagon album I ever had. I'm taking Know It All off of Trashed, and this song is it's very period appropriate. So Trash came out in 94. Obviously Dookie came out in 94. I think Trashed actually before Dookie, but the song is about bands kind of maybe selling out, making cash, and how that, like, the hypocrisies that go along with people who say, "I don't like any bands that are on major labels," stuff like that. There's a great line at the end where it's like, talent is exclusive to bands without pay. And for years, I was hearing it wrong. I thought it was sometimes it's good to see bands without pay. But overall, I love this song. I think Trashed of the early catalog is my favorite. So talking the first 3 albums. And yeah, this one's my favorite. Dylan's got my other favorite coming up. Spoiler alert. But Dylan, Know It All. Do we see eye to eye here, or is this another one you don't care for?
I like this song. It's definitely the most like poppy off of Trashed.
Yeah.
There's a Screeching Weasel song with a similar theme. It's off Television City Dream, basically about, you know, like kids who still live with their parents, knocking bands for actually making enough money to, you know, for music to be their job. So I think it's a fun song. I like when bands take the piss out of their fans like that.
Yeah, all these fans who would turn down like promotions at work and stuff, you know, because they gotta stay true.
The thing is, everyone most people probably got into punk music when they were, you know, teenagers who were all virtuous, and it's easy when you have a roof over your head provided by someone else to, you know, shit on someone for making money. So yeah, I can relate to the song. I felt that way about bands when I was in high school and stuff.
Same.
So, so it's funny to look back on my stupid stuff.
Yeah.
So
We've all
my
been there,
second
man.
song.
And get up and they sold out and their music's cliche. Cut out exclusive to bands without.
My second song is gonna be from Blaze. It's "I Must Be Hateful," and this is just like a really pessimistic song. And I really like the guitar melody throughout the song. That little do 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 do. So yeah, this is my favorite pick from Blaze.
I'm glad you took it. I have 2 from Blaze on my list. I don't like to do that, but I had 3, and this was the third. And it's probably my second favorite song on Blaze. So I'm really glad you put it here. Awesome pick.
Finally, you are free of me. It must be true, cause it only makes sense. I can't.
My third one, I'm going like super cliche, man. I think this actually the most well-known song I think for Lagwagon is not on either of our lists, but I think this might be number 2 or 3. I'm going Violins from Haas. This is one of those songs where I think it's like a near perfect pop punk song. It's got these melancholy lyrics with this upbeat music, that Joey writes so well. Violins, obviously a metaphor here for the kind of sadness and depression. So I love this song, and I want to shout out. I was playing it today because when I picked the song, it made me think back that Yellow Card did a cover of this on Rock Against Bush Part 2, and I think they knocked it out of the park. If somebody's got that on YouTube, I'll play a clip now.
And cry for your heart. How are you? How have you been?
If they don't, I'm going to play a clip of Violins anyway. But Dylan, I could see you're not really hitting the hits here. Is Violins one that you heard too much, or did it come close to getting in your top 5?
It was in consideration for sure.
Okay.
I really like the double time part later in the song where they there's that "into this ashtray life, the butt of your sick joke." Yeah, it's a great song. Another very pessimistic Lagwagon song.
Yes.
How are you? How have you been? Girl, I miss you. Wanna see you.
Number 4 for me, or number 3.
Three.
Number 3. The first Lagwagon song I ever heard, actually, which again is showing my age compared to John here. Heartbreaking Music from Resolve. And this was from, I heard this on Fat Mike's first podcast. I think it was just called the Fat Records Podcast or Fat Rec Podcast. I don't remember. He did it with Floyd, and they would just play songs off new Fat Records releases. And I think the album had just come out at the time. And it's a real old school sounding song. Like, it's real rough and like it almost sounds like a demo. But I love this song.
It's an interesting pick, and I'm curious if it's because it was the first one you heard, if that's where you're drawing the like from. Because Resolve for me has never been one of my favorite Lagwagon albums. It's kind of like, for a little while, it kind of got me out of them. But I've come to appreciate it now. When we did the tier list last year, I was like, this is pretty solid. But I mean, Heartbreaking Music's probably top 3 from the album for me, so it's a good pick.
I am not just benignant still. Clear out to your hell. I think I knew you well.
Moving on from me, I've got my second one from Blaze. This is probably either 1A, 1B, 1C with I Must Be Hateful and E-Dagger. I've got Falling Apart, which is a song, and I mentioned in the Lagwagon tier list that it's kind of funny now because it's about aging rock stars. There's a line that I'll never be Ozzy on stage when I'm 50, and everyone in that band is probably 55 right now. I mean, I don't know for a fact, but they're all over 50 for sure, and they're still kicking, and we're all glad they are. But yeah, this is probably my favorite Lagwagon song to play on guitar. I like the fast changes in the chords, and overall, just a super fun song. that didn't age, unlike Lagwagon. But Dylan, is this one of your favorites from Blaze?
I would say so, yeah. It's probably their most like lighthearted, goofy song.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from maybe some stuff on Duh, which we'll get to in a minute here. But yeah, I like the song a lot. It's a staple of their live set.
Yes.
And yeah, I like the Ozzy line and Elvis, because I think obviously Joey's older than 50 now and he's still playing, so he's not a man of his word.
Hello, welcome to the show. Thought we broke up years ago.
Pick number 4 for me is gonna be from Duh, and it's Beer Goggles. Just another song about being a fucking degenerate alcoholic who can't relate to beer goggles, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you picked one from Duh, because there was no chance I was going to have one. I mean, Duh, for what it is, for what, 92, I think, it's a pretty solid punk album, but it's just never been my favorite Lagwagon album. So good on you for getting some old school. Get us some cred. My final pick, Dylan. So Lagwagon had this streak from Haas through Let's Talk About Feelings, where I feel like there was like a 1 or a 1-2 punch. And I didn't want to pick all those songs, like obviously Double Platinum. I don't think we have it represented here, but it starts off with Alienate and Making Friends. And then you've got Kids Don't Like to Share and Violins, which got here on Haas. And then the one I am going to pick is going to be After You, My Friend, which has got to be one of the best opening songs. The way that the guitar hits and then the octave comes in. It's just such a cool intro to the album. And I had to have it here.
Here he is, he saves a grand.
I wrote down that we have to do honorable mentions, and I literally always forget. So just real quick before I pass it to you, my honorable mentions are going to be Sick from Haas, Made of Broken Parts from Hang, and I have to say, May 16th. We don't say May 16th is going to be the very first comment down there. So yeah, and Alienate and Making Friends too, obviously. But Dylan, any honorable mentions before you get to your last one?
I mean, May 16th is pretty... I get fatigued, man. If you hear the same song, it's like Millencolin and No Cigar, Like,
Yeah.
It kind of annoys me when people only know a band for one song, and that's like the Lagwagon song that... it's like the normie Lagwagon song. Like,
Yeah, it's a good song, but I definitely get what you're saying.
So, I mean, honorable mentions that Stoking the Neighbors, Kids Don't Like to Share. I would have chosen After You, My Friend. What else? There's a song from... I like Rust a lot from Trashed. Just a lot of the earlier shit is more like that RKL kind of feel. I think it's interesting to go back and listen to that. My number 1 pick... is going to be, I forgot what it was, Island of Shame, another Trash song. I like Trashed a lot. Yeah, just a lot more guitar-driven, riffy than later Lagwagon stuff. I like this whole record a lot, but this is my favorite track on the album by far.
Yeah, this is number 2 on Trash for me. I like all the stops in the songs. This was when I remember when I heard it, I hadn't heard a lot of bands that were doing the stops and then and the starts, and then at the very end, the Open Your Eyes part is a pretty rad outro to the song. If I'm thinking of the right one, I get mixed up. It's Friday afternoon, long day of work. I may be misspeaking. But yeah, that's gonna do it. That's gonna wrap up the Lagwagon Top 5. If we missed anything, you can let us hear about it down below in the comments, or you can head over to our Discord and let us know your favorite Lagwagon Songs and suggest more bands that you want to see us do. We've got a couple picked out, I think. I know we've already done quite a few of these in a very short period of time, so maybe we're going to take a little break and then hit some more in a little while. Dylan, off the top of your head, any other bands you'd like to do in this series?
Only the punkest of the punk. We're going to do My Chemical Romance, Panic at the Disco, Paramore, all the heavy hitters for sure.
All right, so you guys have got something to look forward to for sure. So that's going to wrap it up. Like I said, hit the Discord link, like the video, subscribe to the channel. All that stuff helps other people find the videos, and we greatly appreciate it. So with that said, thanks again, and we'll see you all next time.